Hello again, I'm Chuck Todd and welcome to another episode of Meet the Press Reports. Today we are asking, what is a living wage in the United States? The answer depends quite a bit on where you live. Obviously, it's much less expensive to live in York, Pennsylvania than it is to live in New York City. And the minimum wage doesn't come close to the living wage just about anywhere, New York or York. The way people feel about their own economic circumstances can also be a factor in how they vote. So we wanted to know, how are they feeling? And are they making ends meet? MSNBC's Lindsay Reiser and producer Andrew Basson set out to talk to people and ask that very question. What do they consider a living wage where they live? Well, Lindsay joins me now. Lindsay, what'd you find out?
Well, Chuck, we went to two different states. We went to Ohio and Florida to hear from different families sharing similar struggles. A couple $100s of wiggle room, so saving, paying off debt, or investing, those are all out of the picture. And don't get me wrong, their lives are full, but they don't have a security cushion to deal with whatever comes their way, from a higher grocery bill to an oil change. Kanika Williams is a single mom of 4 boys living in Cleveland, Ohio. She has 3 part-time jobs, cleaning homes, delivering food with DoorDash, and sorting mail for UPS. She's active at her kids' schools, cooks them dinner every night, and stays present in their lives.
Being around my kids, that's like the number one. So my kids motivate me. I want us to have stuff. I want us to do stuff.
Kanika puts her life together like sections of a quilt, caring for her sons, making money, spending time with friends. Each piece is sewn together intentionally.
When I have a roof over my head, I know when my small necessary bills are paid. Necessary meaning lights, water, gas, insurance, rent. I'm not talking about Netflix or any of those wanted things. Once I have those things taken care of, I have freedom.
Kanika has a medical technician degree, and the rise of gig work has given people like Kanika some level of autonomy. But she reminisces about how things used to be for previous generations. Her mother, Brenda, just retired from her decades-long job as a janitor at an elementary school.
I went to that school when I was in 1st grade. And that's where she's retiring from. So those 30-year jobs, those 40-year jobs are gone for us unless we start right now.
Between her gig work at $20 an hour and her UPS job at $16.50 an hour, both above Ohio minimum wage, she says she brings home roughly $1,500 a month. What is your definition of a living wage?
Being able to afford your bill, your monthly bills, being able to put a portion back for savings. And I think for me, in my household, if I was to make $3,500 a month.
What would that extra money, what would that get you?
That'll get all bills paid, a little bit in the bank, and maybe that oil change I may need it, you know.
Union trouble.
The debate over how much workers should get paid in America has a contentious history. It took decades of strikes, debates, and a Great Depression for Congress to pass a law in 1938 establishing a federal minimum wage. The federal minimum wage was last raised to $7.25 an hour in 2009, and wage growth has not kept pace with labor productivity, so workers are more efficient, but they have less to show for it, studies have found. Since 1980, most American workers have seen modest income growth, but income for the top 1% has grown much faster.
Everybody who works for a living deserves to be paid a wage that honors the value of the work that they're doing and meets the cost of living.
Michael Shields is a researcher for Policy Matters Ohio, a liberal nonprofit economic policy institute.
For the last several decades, there's been a real disconnect between how much wealth working people are producing and what's being reflected in their pay.
What do you attribute that to?
I think it comes down to power. Larger share of all of the wealth that's produced in our economy is being consolidated by the very wealthy and by corporations as well. Working people are being less successful than they have in the past in bargaining for their share of the wealth that they make possible.
How'd you guys meet?
We met upstate New York.
We were just friends at first. I actually told my friend I was working with
that the guy who trained me was really cute, but too short for me. And then we made plans to hang out on a Saturday. And everyone we were working was just like, is it a date? Is it a date? I think we got home at like 1, 2 in the morning.
That's a good date. So you got over the height thing.
Yeah.
When Taylor and Maggie Mendez started a new life in Florida, things were bumpy. Maggie working overnights at Dunkin', making $11 an hour, which at the time was $1 above the state's minimum wage. Taylor was working a factory job, and both DoorDashed on the side.
We went through some hard times, but it built character, and it made us a lot stronger than we were before.
Then Taylor got a job, a teller at TD Bank in Melbourne, Florida. A group called Family Promise helped them with emergency shelter and meals and taught them how to budget. Taylor's new boss helped them find housing.
Once I got into banking, I knew that the skies were the limit from there.
But between his job, Maggie's overnight shift, and taking care of their 2 little ones, they never saw each other. Then their daughter got into a brand new school, but there's no bus. So Maggie quit her job to watch the kids and drive their daughter to and from school every day.
Have a good day, sweetheart.
You should always try to appreciate what you have, The prices of everything, of cars, of food, of housing, has gone up so much, and income has not gone up a drop. I'm making a decent wage for what I make, and there's a lot of people making a lot less than I do, and I have no idea how they're making it.